Fan, short for fanatic, is the one who's screaming their lungs out in sub-0 degree temperatures, still believing when the chips are down, and never, ever giving up on their teams or players. From the closest seat to the worst one, we want to meet you all. This is the American Fan.
What's going on, sports fans? It's your boy Josh Williams back again with another episode of the American Fan 365 podcast. We got a good show today. George is getting really good with these thumbnails. The NBA playoffs are nutty.
Facts.
AF.
AF for sure. I did not get a chance to see the thumbnail beforehand, so that made me laugh. But of course, I am flanked to my right by the beautiful, incomparable Miss Rosine Frangie. How are you doing, Ro?
Oh my goodness, I had me a weekend.
Yes. Go ahead. You can jump right into your Rose rant.
So, wait, first of all, before I do that, I am forever grateful to you, actually. Anybody that knows me knows that, okay, I'm actually going to say this. I met one of my all-time favorite athletes ever. And knowing the sports fan that I am, and who happens to be my second favorite basketball player of all time, next to Kobe Bryant, I got to meet the answer himself, Allen Iverson, along with Al Harrington, by the way.
Steven Jackson, too.
And Steven Jackson and Stacks as well. I worked in nightclubs. I opened nightclubs for, over 12 years. I've met all celebrities. I've met, and I never cared. Nobody had cachet to me. When I meet my favorite athletes, like when I met Eli Manning, I almost pee-peed my pants in Hoboken because Eli's how much I love Eli, but I met Allen Iverson. It was surreal. And he was so nice. He was so cool. Him and Al have partnered on Viola, which is a cannabis brand that is sold out of the dispensary that we went to, and it's a really great brand just because the Harrington Institute is all about giving back to the communities, especially where minority-owned businesses are favored. So I love that. But AI was awesome. He actually pulled up, and it was hot in Vegas. Go figure. But there's a long line to meet him. He got out of the Rolls-Royce Wraith that the resort sent him and went and thanked people in line for coming to see him. We were inside waiting, and I got to tell you, what a cool guy.
He's a good dude, man. I've known AI since he was 17, so
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I've known him a long time. Allen, his first order of business coming in the institution was he had to go take a crap.
He walks into the dispensary. He's like, before I do anything, I go to the bathroom. I gotta go take a doo-doo. I'm like, not a doo-doo, no.
But Ro, before we'll come back to your rant. We have a special guest in the house. This is he comes from a long line of family of fighting. We have Mr. King David Bollea. Dave, how you doing today, brother?
I'm amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you so much again for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show today. We were when Josh told me, I was hyped.
Let's go.
Now, Dave, your uncle. We can jump right into that just so we set the stage. Your uncle is Hulk Hogan, and I'll say exactly how this even came to be. This is why I love Instagram. This is why I love the fans that we're growing. I posted our video where we were talking about, famous walkout music, and, we talked about how Hulk Hogan's walkout music was iconic and I'm a real American and all that stuff. And then one of my friends, Dean, from Throne MMA, sent me a message like, well, I know his nephew. You don't know his nephew, Dave? I was like, no. So away we go. That's how we were introduced.
That's awesome. I love Dean. I went out there and he was matchmaking for a local event, and I butchered a man in the first round. And that man was highly medicated on all kinds of steroids. I explained to him that steroids don't help. I go rounds on rounds on rounds in the cage, in the bedroom, back to back.
Not in the bedroom.
Okay, now I see. I can see
Not in
why.
the bedroom, round for, but like a verse for verse, bar for bar, no
Bars.
Steroids. Drake.
I see where the comparisons to Andrew Tate start coming in. This is all right. So that was one of the questions we had. So
Before we start comparing me to Andrew Tate,
Wait,
let
who's
me
the
take
Andrew
off
Tate
my.
fan?
Girl.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
Before
Go
they
ahead.
were canceled, Tristan his brother had started following me on Instagram, and we became super friendly over DMs. So I was excited because I believe in like 99% of what they're speaking about.
Okay, what's the 1% you don't?
Or just some of their.
Let's go off
Let's
that.
go off the 1%. We'll figure it out from there.
11-11. Okay, see,
let's go.
God's watching over us. Go ahead.
Right, yeah, God wants us to win.
That's
you know?
it.
God
That's
created creators
Yes.
in his image, and we are here
Facts.
to create a reality.
Facts.
But like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by you, girl. Let me take off my shades inside and my Dolce & Gabbana fanny pack before I get mistakenly accused of being a douchebag and hurt the feelings of lesser men all over the internet.
Oh,
Here
no.
we go.
You must have me confused with somebody else. This is my podcast. So you weren't interrupted. You were being engaged. And just like
that right?
Andrew Tate, you must not know the difference.
Okay, well then maybe you can explain it to me.
All right, go ahead.
I was
go ahead,
just
bro.
interjecting an opinion, a comment. That's how engagement goes.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes for sure, definitely. But go ahead about. No one rudely interrupted you. We like
He's
to. We
clearly
like
never
to
dealt with
banter.
anybody from Jersey, but go on.
Dirty Jers in the building. Where can I get a good slice out here, girl? Or a bagel?
A bagel.
I don't
bagel.
eat that many carbs, so a bagel.
I'm on an all-carb diet. I'm trying to lose 3 pounds.
I heard. You know what?
That's a Mean Girls quote, by the way.
Trying to lose 3 pounds. Go ahead, bro.
Right.
What you got?
Well, in terms of slices, I gotta. I do love Grimaldi's out here, even though it's not like the original Patsy's. They do it the same way.
Yeah.
But listen, I heard Bagel Mania is really good. So if you need to put on weight, you should go there.
Bagel Mania is good. Over by Convention Center, they were small, and now they've created this palace right over by the Convention Center. It is really good. That is a
So
good
maybe
sandwich.
on a cheat day, because I'm getting a little too big for this shirt. I'm busting out the seam.
Oh,
so.
here
I
we
like
go.
the kitty cat shirt.
I know, right?
So
little alien riding a cat on a rainbow.
On a
through the
rainbow.
universe. Let's get it.
now, all right. So, but to Andrew Tate, what is the 1% that you don't agree with them on?
Well, I feel like a lot of their delivery is a little bit too. So one time I was with the fight that I was talking about with the steroid guy.
Okay.
At the end of it, I was like, let me see if I can get this crowd to chant something crazy, and I was in a red state, right? So I was like, did you vote for Joe Biden? And everybody booed. I was like, did you vote for Donald Trump? And they all screamed. And then I was like, okay, guys, if you voted for Donald Trump, then on 3, I want you to chant with me, impeach Biden. So we started doing impeach Biden chants,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm super playful with it, right? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, no harm, no foul. But I didn't realize that there were like people that were ready to like kill each other over it. So in the comment section, it was like,
Oh, there they go.
yeah, they were like wishing upon each other. And
up.
so sometimes as your reach starts to grow, you start to realize that the things you say have more impact
Yeah.
than you may have intended. So even
Yeah.
if you're doing something playfully, you know,
It
that-
turns into something that it may not have even what you didn't intend it for.
When you were
Right.
just trying to have fun.
right. So like, let's say Tate saying something to the effect of like, women cannot drive. It's clear that they cannot drive as well as men. No one on the planet will disagree with me.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
and you're just like, well, I mean, I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? But like, somebody might be. He
gets what he's
right.
saying.
Well, no. I understand what he's saying. Like basically, I mean, look,
Right.
listen. Andrew Tate says things to go viral and to get a rise out of
You know why I
both
don't mind a
sides.
polarizing figure? Because they make people think, right? So whether you agree with him or not off of just face value, and just so you know, you weren't rudely interrupted, you were engaged, but
Go get me 2
there-
coffees and a sparkling water now.
Negative. That'll never ever happen in life. No. I'm glad we separated you two. This could again. This is Jersey. Man.
I am happily submissive to men that respect me and do well by me. So let's just get that off. If you ever ask me for a coffee again without being nice to me first,
girl, you know
I'll knock your fucking teeth out. Just so you remember that.
She's feisty.
You ain't playing.
Hey, listen,
we have a fight.
No, not a feisty one.
He did not look at me and say, "Go get me 2 coffees."
Oh my goodness! This interview is gonna go.
Do you see how I'm trying to be nice and it keeps on going? And I'm like, no, I'll give you this on face value.
Not just that. So her rant. Actually, we can actually talk about her rant because now this will actually engage both of you. I was gonna wait until after we were done with the interview. But her rant. Go ahead and go about your rant yesterday.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to be accused of being, of rudely stopping a conversation. So please finish whatever it was that you were saying.
I was finished.
Okay,
your turn.
Yeah, you are finished. So, I
always finish first, girl. It's a race.
Right.
It's a race. It's a race, girl. I got mine. I got mine.
First off, I would like for you not
to address
men
like that want to finish first.
No, I got you. I would not like for you to address my co-host as girl. That's first. So I'm gonna just say that out of respect to her, and then also just keeping it 100 with you. Please don't address her as girl, because that's not how I get down.
I would never address you as boy.
Yeah. And then also ethnic. We're ethnic people. So you say girl or boy to us, it has an inherent disrespect. So just so do you understand what I'm saying?
So I dated a woman who happened to be black. And I didn't know.
Wait, I have to stop. she happened to be black.
Right.
Not just a black girl.
She stumbled upon it.
Right, yeah. I wasn't super familiar with
okay.
So we hang out, whatever, right? And then I'm like, hey, there's some food in there if you want to grab it. She goes and grabs it. I'm like, hey, girl, can you bring some napkins? Right? She starts screaming at me.
Yeah.
You calling me out my name?
Yeah. So you still know, but you still called me girl.
Right, but I didn't know that was the whole thing.
See, this is the thing about Andrew Tate disciples. See, this is exactly what they do. So don't even play with me. See this. Oh, nobody gets this. Nobody understands. No. You will never play with me, honey.
Not in that way.
You already know, and he still called me girl. You just made yourself look so stupid. But go on.
Oh.
Is that right?
You sure did. You just said, you know what? I learned, but you still called me girl. Go on.
What did you learn in that encounter?
No, I just thought it was interesting that like where someone might have good intentions, food, making her feel welcome, not just calling her an Uber, and kicking her out, right? Yeah. I'm like, hey, girl, like trying to just
being playful.
So I came from like a very like, I don't want to say caring, but like an open place, right? Like space. A genuine place.
Sure.
And due to her upbringing, that was much different than the way I had anticipated the reaction. I was
reaction.
Just like, the way I meant it wasn't the way it was received.
No, and that's fair, but okay, but now back to Rose's point, understand that.
Right.
Now, it has to, I'll say, hey, girl, to her like this, but it's like she knows where I'm at. She knows where I'm coming from. But you also, in certain circumstances, you got to understand how it's going out there. Like you said, and then if it jumps the wrong way,
Yeah, and if it already came off the wrong way, and you knew it was wrong, and you got a response that you didn't anticipate, but you still call somebody girl. That okay, but we'll go past that.
So let's make a deal.
Okay.
I don't want one.
No. We'll
hear it out before you agree or disagree.
We're always open to deals.
You may like it. You may not. It's at your discretion to choose either way.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm going to put it out there. If you receive it, that's cool. If not, that's fine too.
Okay.
I may say things during this podcast with a good heart that may come across wrong. So I would just say that I will make an attempt to be respectful of your guys' requests.
Yes.
But it's ingrained in me.
Okay.
To talk like that, right? Well, like that's how I speak, and I mean it from like.
If you call Josh boy, it's not going to land nearly as politely.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't really see. So when it's more like just like girl, like flirtatious, right? Like like girl, right? I wouldn't call him boy because I'm not like vibing with him.
Unless you're
Or
saying
you said,
that's my boy, that's
right.
my boy, or that's my guy. Yeah.
I would go,
fair
my
enough.
dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Hey.
No, that's
Right.
fair enough because a lot of things that we say, we have to be very careful of because we understand that it may not land well. So I respect that.
Right.
And I'm really, I do like different points of view. It's one of the biggest things about being a fan of any sport is you have to see things in all ways, right?
Right.
And we can respectfully disagree. I actually really love this dialogue right now because I think it's important.
It's real.
And we'd never want to listen. I am very feisty, and but if I wasn't, like, if I didn't talk to you at all, that means I don't like you. So I love that we can both give it and take it. But if you ever,
Well, I give it.
No, you
I never
clearly.
take it.
Well, you clearly just
Pause. Pause. You better pause that. He paused.
You clearly just give it and you finish first and you fall asleep. Then you ask me to go get you coffee.
Right.
To wake you back up.
Well,
To wake you back up.
in that case, I asked for napkins as well.
You
but
probably don't even go down on
that's-
women, so I'm not even gonna even broach that. But we
Might
can
as
go
well.
on.
We might as well ask. Do you do that? Do you? This is.
I already know he doesn't.
This is gangsters.
No, I already know he doesn't.
I mean, I wasn't expecting this
I
type
wasn't
of
expecting it either.
turn in the conversation, but
No, see, that's a no.
I believe that if you do that, you're gonna lose a lot of respect.
Really?
If
Wait, no, now this
like
man.
a woman's not gonna take you serious if you do that, man. She's
Are
gonna
you
think
serious?
she's gonna think you're the other.
We
dude.
think you're king if you do that. You see what happens to entertain people?
No, wait,
A
wait,
man
wait.
that
I
goes
need to-
down on me and makes me come in his mouth, I am making him a motherfucking sandwich after. And
I'll call
cleaning it-
Uber Eats, girl. I mean,
See,
woman,
See, hey,
ma'am,
hey, you know what?
Ma'am,
Ma'am.
youngest motherfucker.
Ma'am.
You got one more shot, my guy.
wait, I'm still on ma'am.
You,
It was the
man, not ma'am.
Ma'am. He was dead serious about the
Not
ma'am.
ma'am.
I love
Not ma'am.
I love it.
You got one more attempt to call me girl, and then it's not going to end well.
But respect that he at least it came out as a
He
knee
said
jerker.
girl.
Girl, and he was like, let me go ahead and hold it back. So
Ma'am.
that's already
Ma'am,
growth.
you look older than me, ma'am. But go on.
But I'm not. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you look it. So go on. You're all blood tested, this, that, the third, but you still look older than me, my guy. But go on.
Wait. Talking about your blood test. We were talking about that before you got on air. You said so talk about that because I know that there was that millionaire that was trying to age reverse. Like he's not a billionaire, but he was down to
Vampire blood.
21 years old or something and had surgery and a lot of worked out every day. What is this blood test that I've been hearing about in terms of your actual age? Because I'm sure I'm 60.
So the current trend that I've heard about is Silicon Valley billionaires having what's called blood boys.
Okay.
Which is they extract blood from 20-year-olds.
Okay.
Right? Because in studies, rats, if you take a young rat
Yeah.
and you take its blood and transfuse it into an old rat, the old rat ages in reverse and becomes younger.
Actually, I did read about that.
Oh, wow.
It extends their life, and if you take the old blood and put it in the young rat dies quicker.
Shut up.
Right. So they're allegedly doing this in Silicon Valley where they're hiring people to be blood boys.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, don't do any drugs, don't do this, don't do that. And we're going to take your young blood and inject it into us so that we can slow down or reverse the aging process.
Ooh, look, our show turned from sports to conspiracy theories. That is wild. I did not know that. But the where you were actually told that you were age of 25-year-old, or you had the metabolic makeup of a 25-year-old. What was that test like?
We are attempting to make history right now together as a collective by promoting this thought process. Is that age is a number, and as medical technology advances and we are moving into a future where we have more control and more knowledge about our bodies, the better we take care of ourselves, because we are physical and spiritual.
Yeah.
And if you do both, I believe that you can perform at an elite level, despite a number on a piece of paper. So at 42 years old, my main focus in life is to get signed and win fights in the UFC, which is pretty unheard of because they're not looking to sign people who have a 42 next name.
Sure.
So when I did my blood work, they said that biologically I am 25 years old, which goes with what I experience in the gym, which is I am putting top-level professional athletes down on the mat and breaking them with intense cardio and stamina, despite them being 20 years younger than me.
When did you start getting into fighting? How long have you been doing it?
So my first professional fight, it was in 2008. And that was interesting because the promoter wanted to use the angle of Hulk Hogan being my uncle.
Of course.
So I had got pneumonia right before the fight. So this was in Florida, where the commission's a little, like they
it's Florida.
Yeah,
got it. You had us at it was in Florida.
Yeah, so they'll run it, right? Yeah, so first of all, the weigh-in was on a kitchen scale on carpet,
Shut up.
Right? Yeah, so that was I was like, this is kind of sus.
Wait, really?
Yes, ma'am. See, is that better? Can we agree that that's? How would you?
Yes,
let's do this.
Yes,
let's do this.
How
would you prefer to be addressed?
Row is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Row is good. We can keep it row.
Right. So row, we had a kitchen scale or a bathroom scale on carpet.
On carpet.
Yeah, and then the doctor listened to my lungs and he's like, have you been sick at all? And I'm like, no. He's like, I hear fluid in your lungs. And I had just popped 10 aspirin back to back to break my fever. My fever was 104.
Wow.
And then he had taken it and it was down to 100. He's like, you have a slight fever.
Slight.
I'm hearing
slight fever.
He's like, you cannot compete. You're risking death. If you compete with a fever. You have to tell me if you're sick or not. And I'm like, I'm not sick at all. I'm ready to butcher this man. I was in the headspace. And then they're like,
and you're a lot of pressure, especially when it's kind of billed and hyped as your Hulk Hogan's nephew, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was my
first fight.
It was my pro debut. There were 12,000 people in attendance where the Tampa Bay Lightning play.
Sure.
Right, and so that's 3 levels up. And as after every fight, and coming up the debut of Hulk Hogan's nephew, and he and I aren't super close, right? But that's just the angle that the promoter wanted.
Did it bother you?
It didn't bother me. I understand their objective was to do good business. Hulk did show. Well, Terry Bollea, the actor who plays Hulk Hogan, showed up. But we'll discuss that later because that's a whole legal situation,
sure, of course.
Right? That it's intellectual property. But so he was in attendance because this was in Tampa, where that's his hometown.
Yeah, that's right.
And so the promoter was Hulk Hogan's nephew, Hulk Hogan, every time cutting to him, and I'm like in the back, like passing out as I'm pummeling to warm up because I have I didn't cut any weight, but I lost 12 pounds of fluids just sweating in a bed from the fever.
Sure.
The day before the weigh-in, right? So that was pretty sketchy. And then
was it the Four Loko coming out of you?
Yeah, I was snorting Four Locos, girl.
No.
Anyway, yeah. So so then I walk out and I'm like in this weakened, withered state, and I'm getting my ass beat by the local dude. He's from Florida, and he's
having your lunch.
Well, I mean, he's like picking me up over his head, slamming me down, elbowing me, and I was fortunate that I can stay pretty calm under pressure, and so I snapped that man's arm in half in the second round, and then I get up. My face looks like I've been hit with a hammer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like one of my eyes is swollen shut. I'm like, dude, I can't see, and I get on the mic and I'm trying to give him props, hey man, he's a champion and it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, the champion will get back up, and I believe he's got a bright future. But he was local, so they just booed and booed and booed, and I'd never been booed by that many people. It was like being at a concert where you can't talk to the person next to you even when you're screaming.
I think you've hit your second time.
Right. Let's go.
I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. So I'm pretty comfortable with people's reactions to me, including
No, but that's so you fought with a fever. You you snapped his arm in half in the second round.
Yes, bro.
And you still got booed.
Well, but my thing
you
is,
must. You know what? I'm sure it's your energy.
It's a lot.
They're probably you're a lot.
Right. That's what she said.
See, I keep on trying to be nice. You see.
Well, but you're doing good. You're doing all right. But I will say what I will say is
I'll grow on you, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, you won't.
You know what? I actually look. I think you never know. You never know. But I will.
You never know. That is true.
You never know.
Listen, if you're a spiritual being, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Look.
I mean, we started at 11:11, so
that's right.
Gotta mean something.
No, we didn't start that. I looked at that and I'm like, God's telling me, Ro,
Well, you're in the flow of the universe.
Don't catch a case right now.
Don't catch it. Well, look, I will
say. Don't bring the jersey out.
But you are such a good sport, by the way.
Yeah,
I appreciate you noticing.
Yes, you're doing good over there. You're doing good. Now, I will say, you snapped his arm. So would you say that you hulked up?
Oh yeah,
because that you know what I mean. You know, as Hulk Hogan would always do whenever he get in trouble. At some point in the fight, he would have to hulk up.
Yeah, I was sitting there getting elbowed in the face, and then I had a flashback of me eating Lucky Charms cereal, watching WWE as my uncle was hit with a steel chair, and then he just flared his traps and hit him with the double bicep pose, started shaking his head, and I said, I cannot let this man beat me.
We all talk about favorite wrestlers. I have my was and I hate it because I want people to be their own person, and I don't. My thing is, when Josh told me you were coming, I never want you to or anybody else to live under a shadow of anybody else. And so that's why I'm hesitant to ask this, but do you have a favorite wrestler? Like, was it your uncle? Was it somebody else? Because my all-time favorite wrestler, it was a tie for first. It was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
We always love the heels as we age.
Okay.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger. But she ain't looking for a broke wrestler.
And
$1 Million Man, right?
That's right.
$1 million belt.
And Ric Flair. I've spent more money on looking from coast to coast. I mean, I just love big personalities.
And I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators on the ground.
That's still one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
The Rolex
wearing. So who is your growing up? Was it your uncle or was it somebody else?
I would say my favorite pro wrestler of all time was probably Rick Rude.
Yes!
Yes! I forget about Ravishing Rick Rude. Yes!
No, as far as heels, like, you go back and watch some of his promos, and it's like, no, Ravishing Rick Rude was dope.
I can't believe I don't even
he was dope.
Yes!
So
what about Mr. Perfect?
Well, when I got kicked out of Montana, okay. I did a tribute to Rick Rude on the mic after I won. So I fought in Montana and, again, slaughtered a man in the first round. And I look out to the crowd. I was the main event, of course. And
of course.
As the crowd's leaving, because they had saw the action, you know, this man's laying on the floor requiring medical attention as I stand there soaking in the glory that the universe provides to me. They're leaving. Right? And I was like, I need to go full Rick Rude on these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted them to turn. I was like, can I get on this mic and turn around these people that are leaving the arena right now?
Yeah.
So I said, all you fat, out of shape, moronic Montana meatballs need to pipe down while I stand here shirtless to show your wives and your girlfriends what a real man looks like.
I love it.
Except a real man eats pussy, but we're gonna get past that. You know who else I love?
Wait. No, I have to get back to that.
Girl, that's Cage. I eat these pussies alive. Let's go.
All right, you know what?
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair fucking enough. All right.
So okay. So this is because I let Ro be she is my champion in terms of the craziness, because I got kids and parents and such. So
you
have a very chill vibe.
I got babies to watch.
But that's why. See, this is why this is one of my.
Bro, you're over here corrupting the youth. We're just trying to promote a message of God and country, and you know.
No, go ahead.
I have an 11-year-old that doesn't even curse. He gets straight A's. He is such an empath and always makes sure I'm good. So I'm doing fucking something right. Number one.
Can we clap it up for that? Raising
Mike.
solid children.
No, for real.
He does.
I'm being serious. I'm trying to.
And he'll always
give you your flowers, girl.
You should give me my flowers.
Row.
No, I'll take girl in that way.
Okay.
You see, there is an inherent difference, and I'll take that, and I respect that, and thank you.
Yeah, no, and that's that nuance, honestly, where it's like it's right there, where it's like
okay, cracker. So what else do you want to talk about?
Cracker.
Oh my God, this is gone. This has gone so to the left.
I love it.
So,
but you get it. No, he gets it.
But no, that as far as fellatio. I'll just say eating pussy.
We kind of linguists because fellatio, you don't even want to go there.
It's kind of
you like fellatio, yes, you don't like to give fellatio.
No, he doesn't. He likes receiving.
That's what I'm saying.
It's my fault.
Right.
My fault.
I just meant the pussy. Absolutely not. Women worship you if you eat pussy correctly.
Have you never done it?
I refuse to do it.
Refuse?
Right.
Wow, you're Jamaican.
I got 5 jobs. What's the blood clot?
Where's O'Day?
I know.
O'Day, are you in here?
O'Day actually does. O'Day actually does.
I know
but
he does.
O'Day dates white girls.
First-hand experience?
It's the truth.
I thought O'Day was a man of God. I love that guy.
Hey, O'Day.
You thought
that's a joke saying that if you eat pussy, you're not a man of God.
I know, I got that, and that's what I wanted you to say, because O'Day would beat your fucking ass. I'll tell you that right now. Don't even talk.
I love O'Day.
I'm going to tell you right now, O'Day would snap you on God. He would snap you on this table and then go get a beef patty. So don't even play with O'Day.
You think that's how it would go?
Wait, yeah.
I know that's how it would go.
Actually, I'm not starting a fight, but what? So you compete at 155 and you're going down to 145. You said.
Yes, sir.
What?
I know when I walk in here, I look like a giant man carved out of marble, about 7 feet tall and 350 pounds.
350 pounds.
You sure do. You sure do. You Adonis with your cat t-shirt. With your fanny pack across because it's Dolce. He's like, I'm a walk in here. You know what? I was going to say really quick. Razor Ramon, I always forget about too.
Okay, all right. Scott Hall.
Something happened to this. Something's gonna happen to you, Chico. That guy.
With his toothpick, I'd die.
His
curly mullet, the wavy mullet, it is so underrated.
Right. So I've never had. I actually love O'Day.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue with him at all. We used to train together. We've sparred multiple times.
Well, because you're scared of him, I'm sure.
Probably what it is. But it's not even like that. He's a cool dude.
He is a cool guy.
And we're in different weight classes, not an issue. He's right. So, but there was another dude that was on his team that had a huge, because I used to train at a gym. We all used to train at one facility.
Yeah.
And then I ended up leaving because I had a disagreement about martial arts with the environment over there. I had a different approach.
Sure.
And one of the gentlemen over there, his name is Jay Perrin. He got very, very upset and started publicly disrespecting me on Instagram.
Over what?
Just, why are you listening to this guy? He's got 20-year-old groupies, and how can you respect him?
Well, you can have a personal thing. You don't got to make it like that.
Right, and he's just, why would you watch this guy? How come you share his videos? You don't share my videos. You guys are my students.
It was butthurt. It was butthurt stuff.
Right.
That's what it was.
That was her feelings.
That's butthurt. And we understand.
He was getting on FaceTimes with his students and cussing them out for 45 minutes. I've got all the screenshots and everything, and then
not screenshots.
Right. No, but so I hit him and I was like, hey, bro, I see what you're saying. I was like, but you're signed to the UFC and I would like to be signed. How would you feel about me screenshotting this conversation between us? My manager will send it to Sean Shelby and I will butcher you and gut you like a fish in front of the world to see, bro. And he was like, yeah, man, you won't fight me. I won't sign you. Go ahead and screenshot it. I'm like, okay, cool. Got you. Right. So we did that. We sent it to Sean, whatever. He was temporarily right at the time that they were not looking for that for him. But he ended up fighting a guy named Raul Rosas Jr.
Yes, he
who's
did.
Another one of my training partners. And so Raul and I, we were having this little thing before he had got signed. I was going to be the oldest person to ever win Contenders, and he would be the youngest, right? So he beat me to it, right? So shout out to Raul, right? That's I love that dude. But he ended up fighting Jay and then made Jay go viral on TikTok with over 12 million views for strangling him after Jay ran his mouth, which Jay says that he's not a fan of doing because he doesn't like that I run my mouth. And it just got really, really messy and all kinds of stuff. Long story short, there's a promotion out here, Tough Enough. That's right. When Jay got cut, they then offered him the fight that he told the public that he wanted, which was to fight me because I'm a joke and I'm this, that, and the other thing. My manager offered it to his manager. His manager agreed. And then 20 minutes later, they called back and decided that was not the opportunity that they would like to pursue.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. Look, hey.
So yeah, there's a lot of inside baseball drama going on.
Dave, when's your next fight?
Yeah.
My next fight is a unique opportunity that I'm looking forward to. There's a promotion. So right? I love to fight like competitive nature. I'm a highly competitive guy. But when it comes down to it, I also like entertainment as well. There's a promotion coming out here called Fight Circus. They've had a bunch of over in Thailand. And I believe my next fight will be with Fight Circus. And I might be tied up to another person and fight Bob Sapp in a 2-on-1 cage match. No telling what might happen.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love that you're excited over that. And I love that you're like, I'm outside. I don't have to live in this box where it has to be this type of fight. So I appreciate that because that tells me that you're confident in your abilities.
Yeah, and you're willing to not only push the envelope but change kind of the perception of what a fighter can be, what a fighter can do.
I really appreciate that you are about being your own person and not attaching yourself. Like that is a really big deal. You could have ridden, I think, a longer way, a lot longer if you did and you chose not to. And so I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, now before we get you out of here, I want you to name, we've been asking different guests their Mount Rushmore of fighters or sports or different things. So this could be wrestlers, this could be boxing, MMA. Give me your top 4 all time.
Top 4?
Mm-hmm.
King David, King David, King David, King David. I spit hot magma.
Dylan.
Let's go.
Well, give me your real. Give me your real one.
Right. Yeah. So I have favorite performances. So like my favorite performance of all time was Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez.
Okay. For the champ.
Right. Yeah. And I just see that that's like nearly perfection in martial arts. So that would be my top right there. And then I like Valentina Shevchenko's head kick. I believe it was against Jessica Ai, where it sounded like a baseball bat was ricocheting through the entire environment. I train at Xtreme Couture with the best fighters on the planet. And one of them is, let's say, UFC world champion Francis Ngannou before they had their little contract dispute, or big contract dispute, right? Because that's big money that they're talking about. But Francis overcoming adversity with a torn knee, and just when you hear his story, like everything he had to do to even get to here, to even have an opportunity to compete, and then he's going out there against the second baddest dude on the planet. He's compromised, and it's like we're talking about spirituality and stuff. That's called faith. Right? Faith isn't doing it when you know you can do it. Faith is like believing in the outcome that you can't even see because you know that God's got you, right? Amen. And so like to
that
me,
part.
Right, yeah. So he's one of the most inspirational people that I've ever had the opportunity to meet in my entire life. So I would say those are like maybe my top 3.
Okay, all right. And before we get you out, I just
and you know what? Let's make it controversial. Number 4.
Okay, all right.
The 4-time boxing champion Andrew Tate himself, top G, he's in the top 4. Let's go.
Okay, all right. Now, all right. Before we get you out to talking about Tate,
I'm just playing around.
The situation with him, with all the craziness and being arrested, do you think that going back into conspiracy theories, do you think it's really more or less just trying to silence him and silence his brother?
Well, I would say that if you were an alien coming down from outer space and you had no knowledge or anything, it would just appear to someone who was open-minded, like an unbiased extraterrestrial, like on my shirt with this cat, that that there's an agenda behind what's happening due to the fact that he was arrested without charges. And then held detained without charges, and then they never pressed charges, and then the people who were accusing him are on record saying that they're going to set him up, and then the people that they're saying are the victims are saying that they love him, Wow. And it's just kind of like, I get that he says aren't in alignment with the narrative in general, but I feel that we had a disagreement, and then we had a discussion, and now we're in a better place.
Of course.
Right? And I feel that discussion is oftentimes a way to get to a better place. And when two people
are willing to,
and if we both believe what we say or think or feel is true, and we both come to a place where we both want the actual truth, if you're right and I'm wrong, I want you to tell me, bro. Like if there's a better way of being.
You don't strike me as somebody that wouldn't do anything but grow roots in what they thought. there was the complete truth about your dude, Andrew Tate, and his brother, you would still say, no, it's part of the narrative. It's part of a bigger thing.
And I was going to eat your pussy after the podcast just to be open-minded, girl.
You have a better shot of hitting Powerball than eating my pussy.
Okay, well, then we both win. Let's go.
Because you would be bad at it.
You'd be all.
This is the first time. First swing. It's.
I need an older woman
tough.
in my life.
But you look older.
I know.
Well, okay. Well,
this
to get,
motherfucker.
I've lived.
How much longer?
I'm done. So all right. Well,
I'm used to
how
that
much
question.
longer? Because now he's being disrespectful, and now it's gonna. So how much longer?
Well, my last question to him was, what's
Bro,
something?
I thought we were in a good place.
No, you took it back, my nigga.
Oh shit.
Oh my God. All right. So to end on this, I want to know, what's something about the Bollea family overall that you feel is maybe misconstrued by fans or just pundits, outside of Hulk, but then Hulk's children, and then also onto yourself.
Well,
Does they actually fight?
Uh oh. Yeah. So my when I made my pro debut, when I got booed out of the place and all that, and beat the local dude, and people were leaving like YouTube comments like, I hope your family dies. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, damn, bro, like 0 to 100, So I would just say that there's just a perception of like celebrity in general that it's almost like people are watching a cartoon. They don't humanize people. Yeah. And I feel like in this country, especially in this time, like if you disagree with somebody or their personality upsets you, like if we can humanize each other and then like really see like the person, then that would be good for everybody in general.
Well, let's take it back. I mean, in no way, because I feel like that was maybe like kind of tongue-in-cheek, maybe meant towards me. I'm not a woke person. In fact, I actually changed parties because I feel like both political parties are they're two wings on the same bird. So I get out of the equation. I'm very socially liberal, but I don't believe anybody needs to put in the what I should think is important, okay? And we can get into that into a different time. But what I will say is when something ignorant is reinforced over and over and over, and you say, no, I got taught this one time, but you do it over and over and over, that tells me that you don't give a fuck. So at that point, it's like, it's not about being woke and being part of a narrative. It's, listen, you make your bed, you gotta sleep in that shit too, because just like what you give, you gotta take. But you're a fighter, so you know that, right?
I'm not sure where we're going with this.
I'm just saying practice what you preach. That's all.
Hey, so can you give me an example?
I mean, you said you got taught a lesson by the girl who happened to be black, and you called her girl, and you found out that it was very disrespectful.
Well, no,
I'm not done talking.
I feel it was respectful because I was coming from a respectful place.
But
I feel that she's entitled to her interpretation.
But then you learned not
change
okay.
how I feel about her at all.
But you learned that it was offensive for her and her
right, and I choose to not surround myself with people.
And then you called me girl.
Offensive. Right,
so you didn't learn. Okay. So get great.
Right, so Ro, like let's say you and I were eating sushi, right?
I'd never go out to dinner with you.
I know you're way above me. I get it.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't deal with people like you.
I know, but what I'm saying is, and I said girl, and you got offended.
I sure did.
Right, I know, but I would say
especially after you said I was wrong, but I did it again.
Right.
That's the point, and you're missing it.
Right. So then I would, at just that point, I'd
be like, can you get me an Andrew Tate auto so I could frame it?
I would just let you know that like you're
allowed to feel.
What are you
let me know? What
you're
do you
allowed to
teach
feel
me?
however you want to feel. Right. I'm allowed to feel however I want to feel.
Sure.
And not everybody has to agree.
Whose show are you on? Not yours.
My dude right here.
No.
It's ours. It's ours.
So don't get it twisted, my guy.
Oh my goodness. It's ours. Trigger warning.
All right.
There's no triggers here. I'll knock you out in the parking lot, my guy.
Okay.
I'm not the one.
Okay.
Oh, my Ro.
I thought we were in a good
place.
No.
You took it back because you're ignorant.
What did I take back, girl?
But you know what? Fine. Whatever. You're right.
Well.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go. There they go.
There they go.
I was
That's
talking about
the
seeing
one.
the humanity in others, and I was meaning that, like,
You
even
have
though
no
you and
humanity. That's
you
bullshit.
and I disagree, but I'm trying to see the
your
human in you. Right.
spirituality curtain is such a fucking crock of shit because you are a disrespectful person. So this whole spirituality thing with your bracelet, this, that, the third, I'm realizing you already said to us, I did something, I realized it was wrong, and he did it again. So you can say what you want, no,
we have
but
an
I
objective
know.
third party. Do you feel that I was continuing to intentionally disrespect her throughout the podcast?
There were a few moments, but then also on top of that too, I saw that you did attempt to try to, like, once you saw that it harmed her and you heard her and you listened, you know what I mean? You had the few times you're like, girl, oh, all right, row, and like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But I as far as where she comes from, there certain men have a condescending tone or a
Right.
talk down to women tone. You know what I mean? And we can look at that as macho or bravado. I know that some of this is your character and who you've built yourself to be as well. So I know how that comes across. But Ro, once it's scorched earth with Ro, it's hard to come back, baby. You can't replant.
So was that being sensitive, Josh?
No.
I would ask you as an objective third party.
Okay.
If you were a viewer watching this, do you feel that I've been more disrespectful to her or her being more disrespectful to me? Do you think that the public in the comments is going to feel that she's more disrespectful or than I was?
Well, no, I don't feel. I feel like, honestly, really,
because
watching
we can take a poll.
No.
You know what I mean? And I'm
I'll take that poll and shove it up your ass. But go on.
I'm genuinely trying to be respectful to you.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You were. The minute you saw what you did, you walked it back a little bit, but you weren't thinking, and so you went in again. That shows me that's who you really are. So unless you're watching yourself, and I'm not a woke bitch, so don't even start with that with me. You are just disrespectful, and you are so self-righteous, and you use spirituality as a curtain to it all. So literally, I have zero interest
of the poll.
of anything.
Fair enough. Well, I guess the picture that I was looking to get is probably not going to work out right now.
Oh, I'll take a picture.
You'll still take the picture?
Sure.
All right.
I will not take the picture because I do not take pictures with people who publicly disrespect me.
Well, you should be disrespected, and you should be humbled.
Wait, you feel publicly disrespected?
Well, I feel that I'm coming from a good place with good intentions, and I feel that that's not being heard. And if the roles were reversed, I would be getting
No,
called
you
all
reverse
kinds
the
of names.
roles. You reverse roles, and you kept on trying me, and this is what you get. This ain't your show.
Right, and I will accept what I'm getting.
Fair enough. Well, Dave, I do appreciate you being here, brother.
Hey, man, listen, I appreciate you because we popped off.
Yeah.
And you stay calm.
Oh yeah,
and I appreciate that.
Listen. I will always. I'm always
cool
team,
as a fan.
I'm always team Ro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Team Ro. I just wish you would know that.
But you're so not.
Well, no,
1,000% am.
Hold on. And this,
all right.
and this is
if
this
you
is,
say that, then I'll believe you.
And this is honestly what I was saying earlier. What I was like, you know what I mean? Honestly, I could see you guys being friends. It just.
I can too, though.
But
that's the odd part. I don't like the way you came off, and I get that you're persona, and I think that you think you're a hyper alpha male. But I have to tell you something. I have nothing but respect for men that stand in their place, and they know who they are. That's why I really liked about you that you never associated yourself with your uncle. You're like, I'm gonna do this on my own with my own performance and how I am. What I didn't like is there are certain cues where I think like you saw me, I backed off. And I'm like, I'm keeping it cool. But then you would go in again and say stuff knowing that like I'm gonna fuck with her a little bit. And if we were friends,
is it wrong for me to feel
if we were
have
friends,
a vibe and I'm just like
you don't.
like
I don't have a vibe now. I didn't have a vibe.
But I'm
with
just
you.
saying, like, I'm like, oh, I kind of understand where you're coming from in terms of like.
But then that's why you should have known what you could have said
like,
and what you couldn't.
You're a real motherfucker who's not taking shit.
No,
right? And I'm
at
like,
all.
okay, I can see that, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm play.
You know
a
what
little,
I would
right?
love to do is take a shot with you and hang out with you because, I feel like we are a lot like the same person. No,
I know, right? See, in there, I'm doing it.
That's
again,
it.
Right?
No. He actually.
She's out.
Hey, look.
She's out. She's getting my coffees right now.
That was
2 coffees. It's 2 coffees.
Hey, you know what though? That was actually funny. Yeah, no, she's going for a hug. She's going for a hug.
There they go. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And I'm glad we're ending on a good note.
There it is.
Because I want good things for you. I feel like you're an infinite, powerful creation of an all-loving God and universe above.
I want to live in serenity. I just think that you have to understand how I grew up and where I grew up. And there's certain boundaries that I've had to deal with my whole life. And being talked at, when you're a girl in your 20s, you're from the project. Parents are immigrants. You get 2 degrees by yourself. Nobody's helped you.
Right.
And you get to a corporate level at the youngest age that position has ever had in my gender. I have a very thick skin. I actually hate this woke culture. So I am not that.
We're of an age where we hate woke culture.
I hate everybody. I have a very thick skin, and I don't like people that are sensitive to fucking everything.
Yeah.
I won't. This is why I left the Democratic Party. I won't let any party tell me what should be in my narrative, what I should think is important. I care about my son. I care about raising a good man that's productive to society, whether it's spiritual or in any other way, but a good person. I don't buy into this is what you have to think. Yeah. But the one thing that I won't let is anybody disrespect me at this point in my life. And I felt like you were disrespectful. You caught yourself, you walked it back, but then you took it back. In real life, I think we would be really good friends.
I think so.
So you're saying you did want to get the sushi?
Sure, why the fuck not?
It's back to the sushi. It's back to the sushi.
There you go.
He eats sushi, but not pussy.
That's what I was code word, girl.
Is that
You'd never get that opportunity.
Keep up, girl. I mean, row.
Girl.
Right.
Right. But look, it's so entrained. It's so entrenched. It's so entrenched. It's.
I know. Listen,
it's internally.
If I'm gonna be an unintentional,
yeah,
like douchebag on accident, let me at least put the douchebag costume on.
Oh, there it is.
What's going on?
Put my douchebag costume
on, man? Like I feel like I just maybe it'll be better understood if I'm just rocking all this.
There you go. Well, look, I again want to just thank you for coming in, bro. We're gonna we'll get our picture and then we'll finish. We'll do our last 10 minutes or so, get through our other sports. But thank you. I do appreciate you coming in for real.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
And I appreciate you making good with my Rosine.
No, and likewise, listen, it takes a strong personality to deal with this. And I do feel like, you're going to laugh, but I do feel like we are the same type of person in certain ways.
Yes.
Okay?
No, legitimately in certain ways, for sure. I felt that too.
And I really appreciate you coming on. So thank
All right,
you.
George, go ahead and get this picture, brother. On the wide shot. Right back to it. Welcome back. We got our picture with Dave Bollea. Make sure you tune in to our interview. It went off the rails. It came back on the track. It went off the rails again.
No, I'm
and
fine
we
with
brought it back one more time. I'm proud of us.
You know what though? You gotta respect somebody that is who they are.
Yeah.
And you have to take yourself out of it to a certain degree. And whether you agree or not, you can say, listen, I don't necessarily love it, but I respect it. And as a human being that wants the earth to give back to them what they want, you gotta be like cool with it. But you know what? He clearly doesn't like go under his uncle's like name.
That's right.
So I have a lot of respect for that.
King David. And look, and that's already a strong name. You know,
right?
That's biblical. That's already strong. So.
I have nothing but respect for it. Can we really quick talk about this Rose rant, because I want George's visceral reaction to this. Okay, so Saturday was awesome. As I mentioned, because of Josh, I got to meet Allen Iverson, my second favorite player of all time, and Al Harrington and Steven Jackson, and so I got home, I freshened up, and I went down to our locals place. One of my favorite people in the world, Ms. Donna, was behind the bar, and it's I live in a neighborhood where it's like a small community. I went there, and there's a gentleman that came in later that tried to
seduce you,
have a meaningful dialogue with me. And the people next to me I knew, so they brought up the podcast. They're like, "Oh, how's it going?" And they were football fans, so they started talking about football. And Tom Brady got brought up, as did Aaron Rodgers. And this gentleman that sat next to me said, "I have a really I'm just gonna say it because it just." People need to like kind of come to terms with it, and nobody's saying it out loud. And when I tell people that I have a sports podcast with Josh, people always like to give me hot takes, and I'm always here for it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm always here for it. But most of the time, they make sense. This gentleman proceeded to tell me that, George, I can't wait to see George. He said that he felt that Aaron Rodgers was a physically superior quarterback to Tom Brady, bar none.
And was dead serious, George.
No, like,
and dug in heels too.
That was the hill that he would die on. I just want to say, how in The Office when Jim looks at the camera because he's like, what?
What?
Literally, the people next to me, and they're fans of all different teams, and even Miss Donna, it's like the record stopped. We were all like, because he couldn't have possibly said that. So I turned to him and I said, "Chris, you said that Aaron Rodgers was the physically superior quarterback to Tom Brady." He goes, "Oh, well, if you know football, you'd know that." Okay.
That's how it started. Go ahead, Ro. Where did it go from here?
So I ordered another Moscow Mule. Actually,
Miss Donna brought it back. She didn't even order it.
Donna ran it back. She's like, "Let me." I only actually had like 3 sips of the one because it was within like 7 minutes of me getting there. She's like, "I'm gonna refresh this. Do you want some bread?" And I'm like, no, thank you, but no, I know bread, but she didn't give me a choice. So, I said, "Can you please clarify what you mean about if you knew football?" Because that happens to be my sport. I've been watching football, actually since I've been 4, and I remember my first game full game at 4, and it was the Cincinnati Reds playing the Yankees. Different sport, however. I mean, it's always been sports. And if you know me, he's like, "Oh, let me guess, you're a Patriots fan." I said, "I am indeed not. I am a New York Giants fan. I have a New York Giants tattoo on me. I'm a 1%er in the sports world. I'm not, So the people next to me, one of them was a Green Bay fan. Even they were stunned at this. And I said, "Can you please explain to me?" I said, I'm really confused as to why you would think this. He said, "Well, if you just look at the way he throws." I said, "That determined his physical superiority. It wouldn't be 1 ring versus 7. I mean, but that's
That's just the beginning.
Well, look who had to throw to. I go, okay. I said, if you know anything about Bill Belichick, you know a handful of things. Here's a couple of them. He'll never pay an alarming rate for any position in the sport. That's facts. He will take a Walmart cashier and make him their system wide receiver. Look at the hamster that Julian Edelman was, okay? But now people are talking about Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter.
Was it Chris Hogan, George?
Yeah.
Chris Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Like, who the heck is Chris Hogan?
But it would be, like, literally, Belichick will never pay for a... he just doesn't believe in that. He just feels like if you have basic ability and you are in a system with other people that can play their position, just do your job, right? He says, do your job. Then he'll make you a Super Bowl team, and we've seen that that's correct. Yes, Tom Brady is an anomaly. And then he's Tom Brady soft, you know, the rules. I'm like, if you're talking about Robert Kraft making the rule, because Robert Kraft, who is the owner of the Patriots, is the head of the rules committee in the NFL, said that you cannot hit a quarterback below the knees after Tom Brady
tore his ACL.
Yeah. So, but that applies to all quarterbacks. That just doesn't apply to Tom Brady. Okay. So number one, no, it's not like he's had superstar wide receiver. I mean, he's had Randy Moss, but Randy Moss is an anomaly. But Aaron Rodgers has had some superstars too, so stop. Okay. It's not even close. Like, if it was a debate about 5 versus 7 rings, 4 versus 7, listen, I can argue within that mentality, Eli Manning, Tom Brady's never gotten a ring off of Eli Manning. You can think whatever you want about him or the New York Giants at that particular time. It's fine. So there's no dog in this fight for me because I'm not a fan of either team. So I still have my 18-1 shirt somewhere that I got to find. But here's the thing. You can have a hot take. And I looked at him. I said, listen, in sports circles, you can have a kind of like a point of view on something that most people can go, yeah, you know what, based on the numbers and based on the wins and based on this, that, and the third, and boom, I can get there. Not with this.
Not with this.
Georgie?
That wasn't a hot take. That was a volcanic take. That's a too hot to touch take.
But do you even... so let's say you met a girl, okay? And I know you have a girlfriend. I know, I think you're gay.
I still meet girls every day.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I'm not going to... Rose going to tiptoe out of that. And just say, let's say you met anybody that's like, oh, I'm a huge... Football's life for me. This, that. And he said, you don't understand. It's the physicality. And I said, where'd you go to school? And he looked at me. He goes, like, where did I go to college? Where did I graduate? I go, yeah. He goes, where'd you go to school? I said, UNLV. I double majored. He goes, oh, you went to college? Okay. Well, see, so when people like our previous guests say certain things, it's just taken a certain way. So I said, I have a double major from UNLV. Here's why I went to Vanderbilt. I said, Vanderbilt? Okay. We're talking about physicality. I said, from my recollection, Vanderbilt sports-wise, it hasn't really in recent history been known for anything else except college baseball.
They had a cool court in basketball.
That
it was sunk in.
And they had that little run in the 90s, but that was it. Because it was, I'm trying to think who it was the guard.
Do you know Vanderbilt for being a physical team?
I don't even know where it's at. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, so there you go.
Tennessee.
Okay, there you go.
Tennessee?
So, all right. So let's say you met George. Let's say you met somebody and you told them what you did. And they're like, oh, I'm a huge Super Bowl fan. And you got to talking about football. You have a show dedicated to football, Gridiron Junkies. And he says to you or she says to you, well, you know, I've got like an opinion on something that I'm really strong and I'm going to grow roots. And it's Aaron Rodgers is a physically superior quarterback than Tom Brady. And go.
I mean, I would just be like, this is the most pointless conversation ever. I've never once described quarterbacks based on their physicality. We'll start with that.
Outside of Vic, maybe.
Yeah, and Josh Allen's by far the most physical quarterback in the league right now. So, but physicality from a pocket passer, like, I mean, dude,
well,
I don't know.
Steve Montana is really
hold on. I would be like, let's pull up the tackle stats. There's got to be somewhere in there.
Tackle stats.
Roger and Brady have to have some tackle stats, and then I would attack it from that.
Not only that, but look at Joe Montana, look at Eli Manning, how many sacks they took. They got right the back the fuck up, and they played bleeding. So if we're going to talk about physicality, but nobody really taught, I mean, but you're right.
Yeah, no, it's a pointless. I mean, I'm assuming he has like, what is it, cheese curds for brains? If he's coming up
a
with that kind of
biochemical engineer, but he thought that he wanted to kind of be like, I'm going to show this girl that, you know, when it comes to certain things, maybe her little squirrel brain couldn't comprehend
I'm
it.
I'm going to have to figure out a way to call Rogue girl from now on this show without her choking the life out of me. Yeah. Oh, my God.
But homeboy is like, yeah, I dated a girl that happened to be black.
Yeah, that oh, my God. Did you see my face when he said that?
I was like, I turned around and I like she fell into like some like puddle. She happened to be black. Then
her blackness was a condition. That's what had me weak. I was like,
I mean, she happened.
Dave.
Listen, she happened to have this like thing. I mean, she just happened to find out about it. So, then he's like, she was very upset, and you know, she told. Then he proceeded to say that. So, I was trying to explain to him that okay, you already know what you said has an impact with certain people.
Yeah.
But you
continued. It was the doubling down.
If Georgie, you know, and you, Josh, were like, "That's my girl." That's one. But if you're like, if you're trying to school me and you're trying to tell me about something, you're talking, and you go, "Girl, listen." He is lucky that I didn't snatch his fanny pack and hang it over my rearview mirror.
I will say that. One thing that I did respect about him though is when he felt that you were harmed, he did back up a little bit and listen.
And then what happened?
I mean, you know, it's some of it I think is also bravado and kind of that's what we kind of got to.
Yeah, but there's a respect that you got to show. So what happened?
Always.
So he backed off and then he came back even harder, right?
Yeah, and then he backed off again, and then we got to a nice place. But
why did we get to a nice place?
Both of you kind of said, let's be nice. And we got to a nice place, I think.
I think it was the pussy eating conversation that really found a happy medium.
Well, that just shows me that...
Ro got me to say pussy on camera, and I don't think I'm going to forget.
A hyper alpha that just doesn't dive in, and that's what they want. They put a bib on. Like,
He's Jamaican.
You make them think, you know, you're weak if you do that.
Yeah, that
I have
was interesting.
never had a conversation.
That was interesting.
Let me tell you something. The most submissive that I have ever been, because when I'm in love and you take care of me well, I cannot wait to be submissive in all ways. And so when I heard that, I'm like, I'm not going to say what I really think, but because if a man doesn't enjoy eating pussy, that's all I'm just going to leave it at.
We'll just leave it there. Let's go ahead and have 5 minutes of sports. So what's good with the nut shots in the NBA? Had 3 different nut shots over the course of the weekend. 2 resulted in ejections, and the third was a flagrant. First, we have Dylan Brooks. You know, that one I think was probably the weakest of the 3.
Yeah.
He's playing defense. LeBron shifted, you know, he changed directions and his hand just happened to still be there. He didn't punch. His hand was here. Hand was there.
How's about he refused to give a post-game interview?
Dylan? Well, one thing that Dylan was saying was how, and for those out there, I've known Dylan since he was 16. I coached him here at Finland. I'm very happy for the career that he's had because I did not think he was going to make it to the league. So for him to make it to the league, I'm super, super excited for him.
That was a congrats.
It for sure. No, because look, in high school, Dylan had the worst knees of any child I've ever seen in my life. He had worse knees than me, and I was 30. And I was like, there's no way you're going to go anywhere. And he proved the heck out of me. He proved me wrong 1,000%. But all that being said, he was talking about becoming a villain and, you know, and people making him out to be the villain. And it's so much easier, just like we talk about with Draymond Green, to eject these guys or, look into things deeper than they are. But
no. Dylan isn't in the same league as Draymond. He's in the same league as Dave Bollea. They say something provocative and then want to walk away from it. Absolutely not. Do not even put him in the same sentence as Draymond.
Well, to what he said, he was talking about LeBron being old and all that kind of stuff. So
and what happened? And then the Lakers sunned them. But go on.
It was at the start of the third quarter. Like that was just unnecessary. But then the one with Joel Embiid at the beginning of that game.
Oh my God, that was yeah.
He's standing over top of me, and he didn't even really kick him. He more or less was just trying to get him off of him, and now that's a flagrant. I absolutely hate it.
I didn't see.
Did you not see that one?
See, I saw it. I just don't see it the same way.
Oh, okay. I
feel like as a man, you know exactly where, even if you did, I felt like it was intentional. I felt like Draymond stomping on Sabonis' chest was intentional.
For sure that was intentional.
And hard.
Well, okay. That we can disagree on because it was not a hard stomp. Sabonis sold that like a wrestling move. You know what I'm saying? Okay, with that one, Sabonis grabbed his foot, held it. And
how tall is Draymond Green?
6'7", 6'8".
Okay. What size shoe does he wear?
That I do not
15.
know. Oh, okay.
How much does he weigh?
Probably like 240, 260.
So if a man of that stature stomped on your chest, you don't think he had a chance to kill you?
No. But wait. So Draymond, right? You pull my foot. Draymond is pushing 40. I'm gonna let you know in terms of just as an old man. I know because you're a woman, so your body ages differently from mine, and just in terms of feel. No. I'm talking about in terms of the way my knees feel.
And as a player, as an athlete that goes right, of course.
Man, he grabbed his foot. He's trying to get his foot free first off. Draymond is not a flexible man. I've used this argument with people who's like, oh, he did it on purpose. I'm like, first off, you want Draymond Green to tear his groin muscle because he's trying to do a split?
What did Draymond do after that, right when he got ejected?
That's where he messed himself up. When you started antagonizing the fans and doing the Hulk Hogan, holding your cup in your ear, Allen Iverson. Do
you not ever compare any of the two aforementioned people to my AI?
No. AI with the, you know what I mean? Like always, he always would do that.
I know, but
I was in the house.
But Draymond, what I'm saying is that Draymond knew exactly what he was doing, and after he got ejected, he didn't stop, because if it was truly, I'm not flexible.
Yeah. Well, don't grab. Look, as Shaq said, don't grab my foot.
Listen,
you grab my foot, you're fair game to get stomped on the face.
Don't start none, won't be none, right?
Amen.
All right.
So we both should have got ejected, right? Because he grabbed his foot.
Well, no. But grabbing his foot wouldn't have potentially killed him.
Look.
If you Google, and this is, and you know who told me this is our favorite game, is if you on YouTube pull up dirtiest plays and moves in the NBA, there are two people that pop up more readily and frequently than anybody else. They're the bulk of it. It's Draymond Green and it's Grayson Allen, of course, a Duke player. So you have two of them. And Draymond does this regularly and calls and cries wolf. No. He knew exactly what he was doing because it was a roach stomp. So me and my wife say, bro. So it was a stomp. He knew exactly. Yeah, but he shouldn't have grabbed his leg. I agree. Yeah. However,
you get what you get.
No, that leg grab would not get you. That would not kill him.
Well, I could fall on my face or bust my knee.
Josh, you better stop.
I'm running and you grab my leg.
You better stop. You're stomping your chest.
That's right. Don't grab my leg. Teach you not to grab my leg.
You better put your finger down before I bite it.
You are feisty today, but I just said to get a reaction out of her. So before we get out of here, go ahead. We got another edition of Fans Behaving Badly. Ro, did you see? First off, did you see the fight between the Lakers are winning both on the court as well as in the stands? Check it out. Ooh, Mike Bibby. Ooh, Mike Bibby. Oh, got some rear naked choke action. Got some chokes. Oh my goodness, he's pulling his shirt off like NHL style. Got some ground and pound row. What we got? What we got here?
I want to know the whole story.
Whatever was said.
I said it. I said what I said.
No, I said it. I take it back.
So I think with social media, what happens is people we're already, before we even go to a game, there is with sports, unfortunately, a mob mentality, especially with certain teams, right? So
more so, yeah.
And so you're going into a game, and now you've already had the young dude with bad knees try to make fun of a legend, okay? So now you already have a narrative and you already have something coming into this game that pours fuel onto this fire.
Yeah.
So you don't know what was said. I'm not saying that violence is ever right. I wouldn't kill him, but I'd shake the shit out of him.
But you get what you get. Also, the Knicks, we didn't get a chance to get to the playoff series today, but the Knicks are up 3 games to 1.
3 to 1.
3 games to 1.
Yep.
But not all Knicks fans are feeling the love. Check it out.
I wonder why.
Right there. See, the Berryhill High School right here.
Pete Davidson, Knicks fan from New York, New Yorker.
Mm-hmm. Staten Islander.
Staten Islander. The king of Staten Island.
No, that's Method Man. Don't you ever besmirch the good name of Mr. Meth.
I mean, Method Man movie calling himself the king of Staten Island.
Yeah, but it was a bad movie, so it doesn't count. It's very unentertaining.
It was unentertaining?
And depressing, but go on.
Oh, my God. Well, Pete said promptly, get off me. So one thing I will say, when we blow up and this gets big, you could come hug us. Maybe not so much Ro. You might get the same reaction.
If I get a good energy, it's different. Now, if you're trying to come at me like in a type of way, first of all, I can sense bad energy across 3. I already know. So I'm actually, if you're in real life, I am a love bug. It's just when I feel people have bad intentions and they think that I don't know, but I know that it's a different energy. And if you're I'm tiny in stature. I'm 5'2". I'm 124, 120. I'm tiny, okay? I have big boobs and a booty, so that may, it may on camera. No, on camera maybe it seems, but I'm tiny. So if you are a man or a woman that's coming at me with love versus I'm gonna try and find, I know the difference, and you will have no teeth.
Well, friends, we've come to another episode. Today's definitely gonna have some rewatch value. I will say that. We got some side eye from Ro right now and during the show. But from Josh Williams.
There they go.
From Josh Williams. This is the front row. From George in the back. We didn't get a lot of George today, but
there was no need, partner. There was no need. Enjoy. This was a great one.
You guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, we appreciate your love and support. Please follow us on at the American Fan 365, and we would really, really love it if you followed us on YouTube as well, the American Fan 365, and showed us continued support and love, and we appreciate all of you.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Fan, short for fanatic, is the one who's screaming their lungs out in sub-0 degree temperatures, still believing when the chips are down, and never, ever giving up on their teams or their players. From the closest seat to the worst one, we want to meet you all. This is the American Fan.